What's up, y'all? It's your man, That Dude, bringing you guys another video. As you can probably tell, I'm not happy. And if you're a Panthers fan, I don't see how you could be after watching that ridiculous mess of a game. And I want to preface everything I say in this video with, unless I'm talking about the defense, assume that I'm talking about the offense. Because the Panthers offense is just bad. Like, historically bad. Coming into this game, the Cardinals had one of the worst defenses in the league. And against that, the Panthers offense scored a grand total of 9 points. 9 points. Yeah, the score was 26-16. But the defense and Frankie Luvu spotted the Panthers 7 points off that pick six. The Panthers scored a grand total of 9 points in offense. That's 3 games in a row where we've only had one offensive touchdown. That is historically bad. The Panthers offense is that bad. And there's blame to go around. Yeah, Baker Mayfield wasn't good, but neither was the offensive line. Neither was the offensive play calling. There's plenty of blame to go around. But that game just was so messy and embarrassing. I don't see if you're a Panthers fan, I'm always gonna rep the team I root for. I got plenty of Panthers gear that I'm gonna wear, regardless of how the team is playing. But it doesn't, when you put that their jersey on or hoodie or the shirt with that Panthers logo and those Panthers colors, it doesn't feel as good when the team is bad. And they're bad right now. Just there's no other way to put it. There's no sugarcoating it. They're a bad team. And as someone who didn't think they will be really good this year, I still thought they would be decent enough to win 7 or 8 games. I have a hard time seeing how this team wins 5 games or maybe even 4 games. This team, because right now, so far this season, they played the Browns. The Browns are probably the best team the Panthers have played so far. The Browns had Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. They lost. They played Daniel Jones and the Giants. They lost. They played the Saints with Jameis, who have 4 broken bones in his back. That's the game they won. And they played the Cardinals, who have not led in regulation time this whole season. The Cardinals had a bad defense. The Cardinals came in with only one legit receiver. The other guys they had a receiver were mostly just camp bodies who had to play because that's all they had. And they lost. They've been losing against bad teams. And they played only really bad teams, and they're 1-3. That's it. There's no sugarcoating that. The Panthers are a bad team. I have a hard time seeing how they win more than 4 or 5 games now. When I have them winning 7 or 8, maybe even going go out to 9. I didn't think they'd make the playoffs, but I thought they'd be a fun team to watch and a competitive team. They've been competitive, kind of, because they've been playing bad teams, but they haven't been good. They haven't been fun to watch. And in this game specifically, they were just bad from start to finish. The offensive line wasn't giving Baker enough time. Baker was under too much pressure, but when Baker had time, he was getting all of his passes batted down. He was missing some receivers. He was not good. To his credit, I didn't see him abandoning as many clean pockets in this game. I think he only did it once. So that's an improvement. But if that's the best you could say about the quarterback's performance, that's nothing at all. He still didn't throw for over 200 yards. He did complete more than 50% of his passes. Hooray. But that's it. Christian McCaffrey in this game, running the ball wise, was getting nowhere because the offensive line was giving him no holes. But he did have a pretty good receiving day. But again, what did that really lead to? He had that 1 touchdown late in the game. But before that, the numbers, he wasn't really putting up much of a day. Most of his receiving opportunities came when the Cardinals got the lead. They started playing off coverage a little more and letting McCaffrey catch his little dump off passes and get 6-7 yards at a time that way. But it wasn't really impactful on what the Panthers were able to do offensively. This offense, I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you fix your quarterback getting up a bunch of passes batted down at the line. You can't fix your offensive line in the middle of the season. You can't fix your quarterback in the middle of the season. Most of these problems that the Panthers have offensively are going to be there the rest of the year. You can't find a good tight end in the middle of the season because the Panthers don't have one. Ian Thomas, not good. Tommy Tremble, I liked him coming out of college. I thought he had some potential, but he's proven himself to be fairly just a guy. Nothing special about it. He's not a great athlete. He doesn't have great hands. He's just a guy. At this point, I'm fine putting Stephen Sullivan out there. At least he seems to have like the great athletic ability. Put him on the field, see what he can do, because he can't be worse than Ian Thomas or Tommy Tremble. Put Sullivan on the field and see what you got at him. But this game was just so disheartening, because even though the Panthers haven't been good this year at all, I still thought they had a chance to be 2-2 after this game, because they were playing a team that, I'll repeat, have not led in a game this season. The one game that the Cardinals won this season, they won off the last play in overtime. But besides that, they haven't led in a game. And the Panthers still found a way to lose. It is hard being a fan of this team sometimes, because they just find a way to let you down time and time again. But to end this video on a somewhat positive note, the defense, I think, played really well today. They played very good for as long as they could before they just got too tired, because the offense was putting them on the field in bad situations time and time again. And they eventually got tired and couldn't do it anymore. But for the most part, they played really well. They kept Kyler Murray in check for as long as they could. They held the Cardinals offense to a pretty pedestrian day for as long as they could. Frankie Louvu was balled out in this game. Besides that really dumb penalty he had, Frankie Louvu was the best player on the Panthers this game. Like, he spotted the offense 7 points. If it weren't for that, this team would have never even been in the game. So props to Frankie Louvu. I'm not going to criticize the guy for a dumb penalty when he's the only reason they were in the game in the first place. He was the best player on the team today. Brian Burns also balled out. He was living in the backfield, keeping Kyler Murray under duress. J.C. Horn had a really good game. People want to rag on Dante Jackson for some reason. I thought Dante also had a really good game. Yep, Hollywood Brown caught that one long ball on him, but that was a really great throw and a great catch. The coverage was tight. It was a back shoulder throw as well. There's only so much you can do about that. Good offense usually beats good defense, but that was good coverage. People just like to bag on Dante for some reason, and I don't know why. I think the guy is a quality corner, and is actually a pretty good corner. The defense in general, again, they played well for as long as they could until they just couldn't do it anymore. And I think that's part of the reason that Frankie Louvu had that dump foul, because he was frustrated. If he was just frustrated after being on the field so long, making so many quality plays, and he had a lapse of judgment, frustration, and he threw Connor down. But outside of that, the guy played great. The defense played really well for it until they just couldn't do it anymore, because the offense kept putting them in bad situations over and over again. This is the kind of situation where it's going to lead to a lot of friction in the locker room. If game after game, the defense is doing what they can to keep the Panthers in the game, and the offense is just letting them down time and time again. They're going to get in the post-game press conferences and say everything they have to say where there's no friction and we support the offense and all that good stuff. But in the actual locker room and on the practice field, it's hard to believe that it's not going to breed some kind of division between the offense and the defense, because the offense has just been so anemic, so historically bad, and they're letting the defense down over and over again. Ben McAdoo has not been the coordinator that I hoped he would be. It's probably time for a change there. It's probably time for a change just in the whole organization, because I was trying to hold back from hopping on the fire Matt Rule train, but now I am on the fire Matt Rule train. That's all I have for you on this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, which I don't see how you could, because this wasn't a happy-go-lucky, feel-good video, but if you did, go hit that thumbs up, and if you're so inclined, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. I respond to almost everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one.